Hey, my friends, this is Janie from Graham's Backyard Living, and I wanted to catch you up on what we're doing today. I did a bunch of harvest on working on the tomatoes, and I posted a bunch of pictures on my Facebook page of my spaghetti. I cooked it up yesterday, let it simmer overnight. Here's some, if I could keep my husband out of it. Here is 6 jars so far. Got some great color to it, some great taste. And I had everything just, I wasn't going to put this table out again. Look at that boy trying to see what I'm doing. But this is kind of my organizational table. I used it last year and I'll continue to use it. This is some of my harvest today. And these tomatoes are like a beef. I don't know if they're the beefsteak. I didn't think I got the beefsteak, but they're a blush tomato. But they are nice and meaty. I can use those for canning. I did use a bunch of them. So what I do is I come in from the garden and I have a big stack of, or a basket. I have tons of baskets out there. Have a bunch of baskets. I put it on this table. I kind of stage it from here because I was trying to can last night and I was finding tomatoes here, cucumbers there, everything all over the place, and that was driving me crazy. You've already seen my kitchen organization, which is terrible. So I try and think I have a little bit of organization, but to kind of watch your product, if you see anything starting to go bad or to turn, you need to process it right away. So, so it's laid out here. I have a little bit smaller table. I had that big one that's out there on the patio right now. I used to have it here. And my husband would go, why is this all here? I don't know why. But it has to be to have it organized before I put it in the refrigerator or freezer, process it up and get them freezer. And what I'll do is I've already got a bunch of tomatoes in the freezer that I can do, but I've got, let's see, how many did I get? 11 quarts of tomato sauce made up. And that's my other 5 jars, 6 jars. Got those. So those will be done here in a little bit. So those are my spaghetti sauces. That was first on my list. If I told you all, I was missing spaghetti sauce so bad. And my husband's just sitting there eating it by the spoonful. I said, I'm not going to get it canned. But we had a little bit. So we have some clouds and some cool weather today. So I got out this morning. Of course, this is me all sweaty and yucky. But I'm going to show you in the garden. I've got, ooh, boy, that's a big pepper. So, you got to practically check it every day. So, my San Marzanos, I'm kind of disappointed in. They're a smaller tomato. I thought they were going to be good size for paste tomatoes. Now, people say that they like those because they were had a lot of good flavor to them and stuff, and they do have good flavor, but they're a lot smaller than what I thought they were. But I'm going to have plenty of these. Some nice ones on the vine. I'll have to go through and pick out some of those. And luckily I got all of the bottom ones picked up because these girls want to get into my tomatoes and start eating on them. But that tomato sauce, that spaghetti sauce I'm making up is so good. This is where I used Greek basil. And I cut a bunch of it, and I'll be able to use that for another batch. But here's my squash and my zucchini plants. They're looking good. I left for the weekend. I hope they do okay, but if you notice, the base of it split. So I don't know if that's going to make a difference or not, but I'm getting them up on these poles, and they're looking good, and I'm trimming them back, so we'll see how they do. The last one went over here. It's a nice cucumber right there hanging down. My cucumbers are starting to hang, so there's those. But the last one went that was over here, so I've got this bed prepped and ready to go for whatever. I'm going to either use this one or either that one over there, and I'm going to get my carrots planted. So we'll have carrots, I guess, in the late fall. But here's another tomato that I had something. They said pear-shaped tomatoes. I've got cherry tomatoes, which I told my granddaughter I didn't plant any of, but for some reason I've got them here and I've got them there, so she comes and cleans me out whenever she comes over. My peppers are doing really good. I wish my jalapeno, I don't see anything on it yet, but I got a bunch here. Anaheims, but they say that they're a sweet Anaheim, so I'm going to see about that. And look at this. It says that's banana peppers. I haven't taken a bite out of it because, of course, you know. And then there's a couple. Oh, I got to get that one there. But I'll probably can up. I'll probably use some of these tomatoes so after I do a couple more batches of spaghetti, I'm going to do marinara sauce and, I think I'm going to make, since I'm going to have so many of the cherry tomatoes, I'm going to make my bruschetta out of cherry tomatoes and just kind of see how it goes from there. That's a lot of meat. Boy, I'm going to see how long, I don't know how long I can let this one. Let's see if I can get some scissors. I'm going to get some scissors and I'm going to cut that one out. See what they do to my tomatoes when they get a hold of one? When I catch them in the garden, leave them locked up. And I'm going to cut that out of there. Cut this out of there so I can watch it. Ooh-wee. Look at that one. How big that is. And that one has a lot of good support right there, so it's going to hang really good right there. Let's see how big that one can get. That one looks nice. So anyway, where was I? Yeah, I'm going to, like the pizza sauce, the marinara sauce, and the spaghetti sauce are pretty much interchangeable. I can use any of those to mix and match. But the marinara sauce, the pizza sauce, I like to be a little bit thicker. But this pizza sauce, I did really good. I just let it simmer overnight and thickened it up. But, you know, you can use zucchinis as a thickener. Come on. I'm going across the other side. Hurry up, Max. Hurry up, Max. Come on. She don't want to come, so she's afraid of fences. She's standing there and stares at me about these fences. I don't know. And I got another broody chicken in here. And I caught a squirrel, the birds out by putting an outdoor automatic door, but I still got birds getting up in there. But they're all happy digging. And here's Tyson. What are you going to do, Tyson? Why are you staring at me? Let me see what this girl's doing in here. I want to get her out of here. Oh, the little baby's in there. All right, got a couple of eggs to collect up. I don't know where Mama's at. Oh, there she is. She's not actually sitting in a nesting box because she knows I'll come throw her out. But the tomatoes are coming on strong. I went on vacation, and when I come back, I think I collected about 3 bushels, and then that's when I started my sauce. But I just took everything like I'm still trying to figure this out. This is my 2nd year canning. So I took, last year it took me all day and I was so nervous about everything. Shoot, this year I just took that big roaster, threw everything in it, all of my homegrown onions, homegrown, like I said, that Greek oregano. Oh, my house smelled so divine yesterday. It smelled so good. So I've got that other going. the all my onions that I cut up and everything, all those went in there. A bunch of salt, um, some Italian spices. I did do some oregano, some more oregano spice, just to kind of top it off. But I'm not having a whole lot of. I think this soil is really nitrogen rich. That's why I got tomatoes that are plants that are so huge without very many blooms on them. Here in Alabama, I hope I can grow a lot longer season. There's a tomato over there I can get. Ooh, I got some jalapenos too. That's what I need. I need to do a batch of salsa too. But I have all of my, I don't know if you can see them. I have to point them out. This is my, one of my bell peppers. I don't know if you can see way over there. I'll have to get over there. But mostly all tomatoes. It's all about the tomatoes. I use a lot of base tomatoes. I've gotten several cantaloupes. There's one that propped itself up there. And it's going right there. And these are all my paste tomatoes, all my Romas. So as they ripen up or get a little bit ripe, see, I left those two. I just let the tops be like a little bit more ripe, and then I'll pull them. Got another cantaloupe going there. Got some more there. Duke! That dog is all over the place. But all my tomatoes. I don't know if you can pick them out and see them, but they're everywhere. So when I pick them, get them on the table, and have a day that I'll just get everything cut up and put and freeze them and get ready for a big batch. And then I'll get them put in the freezer. See, like this one here. I don't let them get totally ripe, because if you do, the bugs will get to them. So you want them still kind of a little bit like this and firm. And this is a San Marzano. I don't know, I thought they would be a lot bigger tomato, but they're not. See, San Marzanos are all down in there. And then here's my bell pepper. Here's another bell pepper. And then, oh, my jalapeno. Where did I see it? I saw a jalapeno laying out here. Here's my jalapenos. I need to get that pulled back up and off of them. But I know it looks just like a jungle in here, but I'll keep harvesting. See, they're all coming up. I tie them up when I can, get them harvested. But this is kind of like the tomato you want. You want it still firm. You don't want that skin to get too soft. Take it in the house, let it soften up. Let it soften up in the house, or ripen a little bit more in the house if you want it to. So I see another one way over in here. And see, that one's a little bit soft. Well, it's got end rot. And that's what I had a lot of them here that had end rot. And I started spraying them with the stop rot, and a lot of them did better. All of these are good. So, but it's very moist, very wet here in North Alabama. It just stays moist and wet, and even if it's 90 degrees or 100 degrees, it's 100% humidity. So that's what I got to deal with. So I got to try and let things dry out. I like them dry, but I think I've only had to water like a couple of times. So, and that's why I'm dripping in sweat most of the time. I carry a towel with me to wipe myself down. So like these tomatoes, I'll have to cut those and see how far the rot went down in there. I still use them if I can, but I feel so like a steward of everything that you grow. I feel so obligated to process as much stuff as I got and not let it rot. So like last year I was in such a panic as to what to do, and I was throwing them in the freezer as fast as I could, and thinking that I had to, like the spaghetti sauce, cook it all day. I think I was up till midnight last year when I did a big batch of harvesting and water bath everything. But you know, I'm a little bit more laid back this year. I kind of looked at some recipes, and here I go again. You know, my husband knows I don't really hardly use any recipes and stuff, so he's asking me how I came up with this or that, and I'm like, well, just the basics for that spaghetti sauce is you need, you know, I do salt. Let's see, I didn't do any pepper, but all of your Italian spices, and I did Italian, the Greek oregano. That's the only one that I got. My regular oregano didn't do too well. That's the only one that I got to really come up good. But I cut up a bunch of, you know, stripped all the stems and cooked the leaves in there, cooked everything together, and then I took my your emulsifying wand. As it was cooking, I just pureed everything. I thought I was going to pour it off in my puree machine and puree it all down and everything, but I really didn't need to pureed everything. And like my husband said, you need, like, I said, well, it's got some chunks in it and stuff. He said, oh, I love the chunks. So I just left it like it was, and it's a beautiful, let's see if I can touch one of these. Oh, it's hot. But it came out, if you see it, it's a beautiful sauce. And taste, oh my gosh, it's got a wonderful, wonderful taste to it. And again, I don't know that I followed an exact recipe. I'll just do it again. And I cook from the heart. I don't stick to exact, because I don't know how many tomatoes I'm going to have. You know, they talk about 8 pounds, 12 pounds, this, that. I try and get that as close as possible. But I just taste it as I go along, and you taste and taste and taste. Whenever you can it's just going to be that much better if you get an original, really good taste. Don't not taste it and think that the canning process is going to make it any better or taste different or whatever. You need to know what you're putting into your jars and going to the trouble of canning. So adjust, taste, and adjust, taste, and adjust. I dumped a bunch of the coarse pink salt in there, and thought, well, I'll just keep stirring that up in there, and it turned out just perfect. Just dump a handful in there, and it filled that that roaster pan maybe an inch and a half from the top. But I got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I got 11 quarts out of it, and that's about right. So I'm gonna keep that in my mind, that I can do 11 quarts to that pan with an inch and a half below. But what I cook up is what I cook up, and like I said, these other tomatoes go in there. That may alter your taste a little bit of how it's going to turn out. So I have a lot of the yellow tomatoes that I hope will be coming on. I think I got one nice one, and I'm going to do a tomato pie here in a little bit. But here's the low acid tomato. I'm going to use some of those, and then like I said, these pink tomatoes. See what happens if you let it get, or this one may have been closer to the ground, that's why that got eat up like that. But and then these are not really the beefsteak tomatoes. I think are a darker. This is something, I'll have to look back in my book. This is like a pink blush tomato, but boy, they have poundage to them, and they're good meaty tomatoes. When I find out what those are, I'll post a picture of them for you. But that's what I've been doing today. Got the whole yard mowed. It was a mess whenever we got back. I got one little section over here I gotta get mowed up, weed-eated everything. I've been getting up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning as soon as light breaks to get all the mowing and the weed eating and everything done before it gets really hot. I've been really enjoying the afternoon. We've been getting a little bit of showers, cloudiness and showers, but that don't mean anything because as soon as it rains, it's raining and it's 90 degrees. So, but as long as the sun isn't shining, I can sweat, and I do sweat a lot. And just keep on going. That helps me be able to work outside a little bit. But boy, it wears you down. People, I don't know how people work a job. I'm retired, so I don't know how people work a job and try and keep up with all of this to do. And then my husband was asking me the other day about meat birds. Well, what do you think where we can put meat birds? You got that look that your husband knows. And I just looked at him, and he didn't say another word about it. Because I finally went out there with a notepad and paper and was kind of figuring out how many people or even my family would ask me. I'm trying to get this set up on here. I don't know if it's going to go. I'm going to find some place to put it where I can set it there. But my family asked me, how many chickens do you have? Or people ask me, how many chickens do you have? I'm like, I guess 20, 30 chickens, something like that. I have 40 chickens. So, and I have one hen that was sitting, she kind of snuck it in on us. She's sitting on 9 blue eggs, so it's going to be she's a cream leg bar, but she has a olive egger. She's over an olive egger rooster, so I'm going to have 9 of those. Well, I don't know how many's going to hatch out, or if they should be hatching out here any day now, and she's going to take care of them. I'm not taking care of them. So she went Broody again when she had her babies, and she just kind of abandoned her babies. So I moved her babies over here with the black copper marans. And if anybody reads my post or saw my post, I'm having a real hard time with the black copper marans. I paid a lot of money for a dozen. I got 8. And all of my other birds, I have not had any issue with. I don't understand what my issue is with these black copper marans. If anybody out there has, I'm wondering, are black copper marans that sickly, or did I get a bad batch? Did they come like that? Because I had one with a bad respiratory issue. I have Trigard that I feed directly with a dropper. I don't just put it in water. She was the only one that was sick. I had her separated. She started doing good. I put her back with the flock. She starts getting sick again. I go back and forth with her, and she finally passed away. Then when we were gone on vacation, I've got 2 that are very small, and then the other ones are huge. So they're 4 months old. They were born on April 4th. And so they failed to thrive or something. So that one passed away, along with my other big one passed away. So now what am I down to? I've got 2 roosters and 2 hens. And then I've got that one that again is very, very small. I treated it with some Trigard yesterday because it's gurgling and gasping for air and stuff. And I don't look for it to live, so I'm not even counting that one. So for $110 for a dozen eggs, I'm down to 4 chickens. I don't even want to figure out how much that is. What is that, $25, $30 a bird or something like that. So I've got 2 beautiful roosters coming on. I've got 2 beautiful hens. And I kept, they're separate. They have, I bought them their own, $3,500 later, I bought them their own chicken coop, but I have other babies and other birds with them. Don't have a problem out of anybody else. So I'm just really puzzled as to why these birds didn't thrive or didn't make it. Is there such a thing as something that when you're hatching them or the breeder that they came from, I don't know if there's been any other, I don't know. I don't want to complain. I don't want to say it's the breeder or whatever, but or that line or something, but I'm going to try and get me some other hens, some different hens and stuff, because these four seem to be doing beautifully, and that's what I want. I want the black copper marins, I think, or I thought I did, but I'm not so sure now if they are a breed that is hard to raise, or I don't know. My barnyard, you know, you throw them out there in the yard and they're all running 100 miles an hour eating my tomatoes and you know, just living life, and it seems like I'm so timid with these black copper marins because I'm afraid any little thing is going to make them sick. So if anybody has any suggestions out there, I mean, everybody looks healthy, everybody looks fine. I don't know what the deal is with these birds. With the two that stayed very, very small, you know, and I mean, the bigger ones have huge feet like this, and they're beautiful. The two girls I've got, so I've got two girls, I got two roosters, two hens, and I need more hens. So I'm kind of looking around, but then I'm questioning myself. I love that breed, and I was wanting to do more of that breed, but I'm just kind of questioning myself. So if anybody can help me out or give me any kind of suggestions, let me know. Well, there's my timer for my next batch of spaghetti sauce is done. So I just wanted to catch you all up on what was going on, and the harvest is going great. I hope everybody's having a wonderful summer and staying cool out there. We're in midsummer now, and just want to say a shout out to and prayers to everybody in Texas. That is some awful storms and stuff that are going on that was in that resort area, and everybody was just trying to have a vacation and enjoy themselves, and that could be any one of us. So prayers to them, and lifted up to those people there in Texas. I think here in Alabama we're missing a couple that was vacationing down there. I know my ex-husband and his wife had reservations to go down there. When they heard about the storms, they ended up not going. So just prayers lifted up to them, and everybody else. You enjoy your summer, and stay cool out there. Thank you all for following me and listening to me, and like and sharing my page. And if you could subscribe, I would appreciate that. I want to get some more subscribers out there, and add some more content. If there's anything that anybody wants to know about, just let me know, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you all, and be safe and have a great summer.